today I want to talk about my picks, a lot of my picks. I mean, like I've been bouncing around over the last year between what I'm like really trying to hold long term, but these are probably the ones I'm going to be holding for the rest of this bull run because I'm now just starting to accumulate, and that's what we should be doing right now. And I'm only like doing this heavy accumulation on like some solid picks now because of this huge market downturn that we had, you know what I mean? So I wasn't expecting the market to get so bottomed out, which I'm actually honestly grateful for because it gives me a second chance, I feel like, to get in to a lot of these tokens. I'm going to go over, I guess, these picks quick. So actually, you know what? I'm going to look at FARTCOIN. Yeah, so FARTCOIN's one of them. This thing was crazy. This thing blew up all the way up to $2.6 billion. It's called FARTCOIN, for God's sakes. Okay. And then a huge sell-off down to 300 mil, which is like almost a 10x down. That's crazy. And now it's pumping like crazy, but it's forming a wedge. I can see it's forming a rising wedge, which could drop down. If like the market conditions remain a little down, this thing might not sustain its uptrend until later in the year. That's why I haven't bought any of FARTCOIN yet. If I caught it down here, I would have got some. I didn't see it when it was down here. But yeah, this wedge I could be wrong, like it could continue upward, but see the RSI here? Like if this thing pumps up a little higher, then the RSI is going to form a bearish divergence, which means the momentum is shifting to the downside. So if that happens, it might do something like this, and then it would drop off. And then maybe a big uptrend, big pump back to the billions later in the year, perhaps. But yeah, if this bull run continues as everybody thinks, not everyone, but a lot of people think, this thing could go to significant numbers. Like, I don't even know, like at least 5 billion, I'd say, maybe 10, which would be like a 10x from here. So, but FARTCOIN, that's a good one to keep an eye on. Okay, so I think right now is one of my favorites, just because of the opportunity and like the upside potential and the downside risk. This is why I like this one a lot right now. Okay, so FUD is on Sui Chain. Okay, Sui Chain came out not too long ago, like a couple of years, May 2023. So it's still relatively new. When this bull run continues and if Bitcoin hits another all-time high, the whole market's gonna pump. You know, Sui will pump, and when Sui pumps, like a lot of its top memes will pump. And FUD, so this is one of the oldest, and it was one of the biggest back when Sui launched, and the biggest meme coins go on to do billions usually on each blockchain. So I'm looking at FUD kind of like the Doge or SHIB of Sui. And when you're looking for picks, you just got to make sure you're looking for a few things. Like, they need a community. That's the thing. There's so much saturation in the market, especially since Pump Fund came out. So I'm reading this somewhere. It was ridiculous numbers, but something like $6 billion got extracted out of Pump Fund over the last year. And like 95% or even I don't even know the numbers, but something like that, 95% lost and didn't make any money at all. So like the top few people extracted that $6 billion like out of everybody. I could be wrong on those numbers, but it was something outrageous like that. Before Pump Fund, you like actually had to kind of be a dev or know how to dev to get a token on the market. So there wasn't like thousands coming out every day back before Pump Fund. There wasn't, and it was less saturated market. So there was a lot less options for like meme coins, and pretty much everything would pump during a bull run, right? That's not going to happen this time, I don't think. No, it's impossible for that to happen. It is, because there's so many new coins out. So you got to be very careful about which ones you're picking now. You can't just go into any and expect it to go because it's the bull run. So that's why community is like what you got to look for, because it's going to take people to pump the coin. And if there's millions of coins out there, but there's only like so many people with so much money, you got to find where those communities are being formed, because that's what's going to hold prices down. And then they're going to also market that shit and shill that shit to other people in retail, right? But FUD's a good example of that. So if you want to check their Twitter, okay, is like the first thing I always do, and like see how legit it is and see if they got engagement and see if it's real. Okay, like here they're posting every day, like that's what you want to see. the content quality is high quality. It's like real animation or whatever you want to call it, illustrations by like a pro, obviously. So they're putting money into it. 125 likes on this. I got the worst chart I've ever seen. Like, look at these comments, man. Like, this is how I used to think too. Like, this is the thing. If you're thinking this, you might lose. But right now, FUD's chart, in my opinion, is like one of the nicest looking charts. And that's the thing. It's like, if you want to make money, you got to think like opposite of everybody. Okay. And why do I think it's like the nicest chart right now? Because it's fucking discounted like crazy. Like, if you get in here and then it goes back up to there, you're up like 25x or something. 10, 20, 20x ish. Okay. So you put $1,000 in now, it goes back up there, you have 20 grand. So that's why I think this chart looks amazing, right? So all that looks really good. And then you want to check the Telegram of the groups too, and make sure, I always say at least 1,000 members, but it's better between 3 and 4 is much better to see. But 1,000 is like the absolute minimum that you want to see, and make sure it's all legit. Like, so this one has 5,000 members in it and they are active. The community's bullish, right? So all that is green signs for me. So that is like a signal for me to look at this one, right? So check that one out. And yeah, this thing will go back to its all-time high. It will do that 20x, and it's at the end of a huge wedge right now. So it's just a matter of time, really, till this thing pumps. Yeah, it's like already broken out of that downtrend. We just don't have the volume yet to pump. So it's going to be a delayed pump, but it's going to happen. And that could be the start of like a huge run for this thing too. Like that 20x could just be the beginning, and this thing could go to hundreds of millions, which is kind of what I'm hoping it does, because it's an OG meme. PIPPIN, here's another one of my faves. I got lines everywhere. Yeah, I was calling this shit way back here before it did, like, I don't even know. It went from like 5 mil all the way up to 327 mil. That's crazy. That's like a 65x. And I think it's going to do it again. But I don't know when, but I think it is going to do it again. If this bull run takes off like we think, this thing could go to the billions for sure. And it's at 14 mil right now. Such a steal. And it's got 28,000 holders, and it's basically made by this dude that is like an AI expert. He's like in the AI scene. Like, that's where he came from too. He wasn't a crypto dude. He was an AI dude that made a meme coin. This guy here. And look at that. He's done like TEDx's and stuff, and he's got 100,000 following. So I would think a lot of his followers that are considered retail investors, not crypto people, have jumped in PIPPIN and will be jumping into it too. And he's like legit AI guy. So, and he's a VC, venture capitalist. So he's got money too. So he's not like, PIPPIN's not to make money, obviously. But yeah, look into PIPPIN. I believe in it big time. It's a good one again. And like, we won't see prices like this probably ever again until after the bull run. So now's the time. All right, next one is GOAT. Okay, this was like the OG AI. I don't even know how to put it. But Truth Terminal basically took over this token, and it ran to 1.3 billion in 2 months. 1.4 billion. And now it's at $52 million market cap. And it's almost like people jumped ship and went into FARTCOIN almost, it seems like. Because like FARTCOIN is pumping again. This thing isn't, but I think this thing will again, because this thing is the OG AI Twitter agent meme coin. I don't even know how to put it, but this is kind of what started the whole AI meme coin trend, I'm pretty sure. So this would be like betting. This is like the Doge of like meme coin AI meme coins, in my opinion, right? Like some people might say FARTCOIN is, but this was first. Truth Terminal, and this was AI before it was crypto also. So, but yeah, they're 1.4 billion, and if things take off, this thing could frickin' go back to billions. What if it went right back to where it was too? That would be like a 30x almost. Yeah, 30x, right? Put $1,000 in it, that's $30,000. And like, it could happen like way down here, right? So you got time to accumulate all of this time. Okay, this is another one that has a solid community. It's 800,000 market cap. Its peak was 32 mil. So this thing has potential to do really well. It's under $1 million too. Like if this thing goes to 100 mil market cap, which I think it probably will, like that's 100x. That's crazy. $1,000 turns into 100,000. So look into that one. On Sui Chain also. And PIPPIN was on Solana, by the way. Yeah, here's its post. It hasn't posted anything actually since March, which is interesting and weird. But its posts are pretty high quality and it has a lot of engagement. But yeah, I just look at this not posting as a good time to accumulate even more, because they're going to come back and start posting again. And there's probably a lot of people that are like, oh my God, they're not posting anymore. Like, what do I do? Like, I got to get out, or it's dead, or whatever. And then bam, they'll be back. It happens all the time. So look into these and use these opportunities, you know, to accumulate. MOODENG, this is also a really good chart in my opinion. Looks dead to the average person, which is what I like to find. Like 700 mil was its top. It took 3 months to reach. It's at 28 mil right now. Oh yeah, and the reason I really like this one is because I looked at their Twitter and they have 100,000 followers, and the freaking engagement is unreal if it's legit. And like this hippo MOODENG or whatever, I don't really know much about it, but I know it went insanely viral, like insanely viral. So these guys are posting and they're putting hashtags in, which is extending the reach. Like this was posted yesterday and it has 1.1 thousand likes. Okay, like that's what I like to see. And it's crazy because that was just yesterday. A lot of these other ones I'm looking at, they have like 100 to like 200, 300 likes. Like this one is breaking the 1,000 mark. And I would assume it's these hashtags that are helping with that. Or this is another page. Okay, this is another post that they did. 600 likes back on the 13th. 800 likes on this one on April 12th. Okay, so like this is amazing engagement. And MOODENG is like hella viral. I'm going to even look it up because I've never even done that. I probably should. MOODENG. Okay, look at that. It's a thing. And let's see if there's even news about it. News. 3 days ago, there's news about it. MOODENG SNL sketch. So SNL did a sketch on it. Saturday Night Live. Okay, like that's huge. MOODENG, the toddler hippopotamus, is still a star. Okay, so MOODENG is a very well-known and viral thing. So that's why this is a good one. And like the chart, look at the chart. Look at that. That is such a steal. Such a steal. And like the downside potential is very small compared to a lot of these big guys. I mean, that's another reason I really liked FUD, because it's at 2.4 mil. Like it's not going to take a lot of money to get this thing pumping again. Whereas it's going to take a lot more money to get something like FARTCOIN pumping, right? Because it's at a much higher market cap. So yeah, sure, it's a steal compared to where it was still, but it's still going to take a lot more capital to get that thing moving. And if the market doesn't recover as a whole, it's going to be very difficult to keep these prices sustained. Whereas it's going to be much easier to sustain prices like this, right? That are down like 50 mil, 800,000 even. MOODENG, 28 mil. It's going to be a lot easier to sustain a price like that versus 900 mil, right? That's why I'm not getting into FARTCOIN, and that's why I'm getting into something like this right now. And then who knows, maybe I'll get into FARTCOIN later when the next dip comes, because I think there's going to be a dip after this wedge. But yeah, MOODENG, check it out. Let's see the Telegram. 15,000 people. That's enough for me to see. Okay, 15,000 members in the Telegram. All right, here's another one that I'm bullish on. I'm not like super bullish on what they're doing and everything, but it's a very popular one. So, and it's very far down from 600 mil at 30 mil. So that's a 20x down right now. And I saw divergence too the other day. So that's kind of why I got in it. So it could be bottomed. That's what I'm saying. Could be bottomed. It's at 30 mil. Obviously there's still room to go down, but there's a lot of holders and like a lot of massive holders, like $1.8 million in this guy's portfolio, 1.3, 1.1, 700,000. Okay. So like what I'm getting at here is like this thing is really bottomed out, but look at all these people that have lots of money. When the market comes back, or when it's really truly flatlined, these people are going to start to like top up their bags more, and that's what's going to get things moving. Like these guys aren't going to let this thing just go to nothing, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of backing behind it, and that's why a chart that looks dead like that not necessarily is, right? So GRIFFAIN, another good pick on Solana, and MOODENG was also on Solana. And make sure you're looking at the right ones and you're not looking at replicas. Like there's a lot of tokens that steal the name of another one, so people buy it by accident. BLUB is another OG meme on Sui. It's at 5 mil. This thing broke 160 mil. Okay, so like that's like a 30x down. Also, here's another good example of like an OG that's gonna probably kill it soon. Let's see their Twitter. So it's 13 hours ago, 144 likes, 180 likes. Like this is high quality shit, right? It looks like it was on like Family Guy or something. So this is good. 164 likes. So that says they're putting money into it, and there's a legit team behind it, hyping it up. And it's been around longest with like FUD. And it also was one of the top performing meme coins, one of the first top performing meme coins. So, and it has a community formed around it. So all that tells me it's going to do extremely well when Sui starts doing well again. So you could start to accumulate this one and you'll be happy you did in the future. But you got to be patient. Who knows when this next run up is going to be? It could be a year from now, right? So changing your mindset to longer term and not being so outcome dependent is what's going to really allow you to have massive gains in like a year or down the road, and your future self will thank you. What else we got? TARDI on Sui, very flat. Yeah, it's at $1 million market cap. 8 hours ago, 37 likes. 13 hours ago, 15 hours ago. They're posting a lot, multiple times a day. Yeah, like the engagement's good, and they're posting multiple times a day. They have good artwork. It obviously there's legit people behind it, and I've seen this talked about by like pretty big people too. I'd say it's a pretty safe bet, especially at this range, a mil. This thing was up at 43 mil, so it's down 43x. This one right now might have some of the best upside potential out of all of the ones we've looked at. So TARDI, look at that one. And we got GIGA. This chart's looking decent too. I was looking at it up here and I drew this wedge and it fell just like I thought. So like these rising wedges, they will fall usually the distance of the wedge from the bottom trend line to the upper trend line. They usually fall the exact height of it, right? And this one did actually do that. So keep an eye out for those wedges. They'll get you. But this one was at 900 mil. It's at 154 mil right now. And this thing could go to like mega billions. Murad thinks it's going to go to mega billions. So you could have 100x from this one in the future. POPCAT, it was like one of the best performers of last year. Look at that uptrend from February to November. That's almost a year of just up. POPCAT, yeah, that went to 2 bill, so it's almost 10x down. And because this thing did so well, I think it's going to do extremely well again when the market turns. And I didn't think we'd ever see a dip like this for it. 400 likes on this last post. 500, 500, 500, 589, 490. So yeah, this is looking very bullish. Yeah, this is a really good opportunity, I'd say, to get in this one actually. And it looks like we kind of got a bullish divergence here too. So that means that the sell momentum could be slowing down, and like we could be seeing a floor around here forming, right? So this is probably a good range to get in. Yeah, between 100 mil and 300 mil, probably see some consolidation there, which will give us time to accumulate. This is definitely a really safe bet in my opinion. FARTCOIN, if you can get it down here again, that's definitely a safe bet. I'm not going to talk about it again, but FARTCOIN, check it out. That's on Sol. Oh yeah, POPCAT's on Sol too. Same with GIGA. And then yeah, MYRO is another one. This is a little older, but it's at the end of a wedge. It's accumulating or consolidating since February. It hasn't really moved. So that tells me there's not much downside risk unless the market just takes a turn for the worse. But yeah, people have been consolidating, accumulating since February at this price, and it's almost May, so 3 months. And then if this wedge plays out, it will pop upwards to like 270 million from where we're at. That's like a 20x, right? And these wedges do play out, but you need volume for these patterns to play out. But that's the thing, when the volume comes back to the market, this pattern will most likely play out, and you'll just see like a boom, a big pump all the way up to here. And then like experienced traders know that this pattern could play out, so they have sells set up here. So you'll see a big pump and it'll get stopped from going higher because of the pattern and people have their sells set. And that could be the start of an uptrend, right? Like it could go like, right? It could start to go up from there, and that could be a huge run coming. But yeah, that might not happen for a while too. That might happen way down here. You know what I mean? So good time to accumulate MYRO on Sol. And then this is like Murad's favorite. He thinks it's going to go to 100 billion. So if that happens, that's like a 200 plus X from here. And that's because it has the SPX ticker, which is the same as the S&P 500. And this one's called S&P 6900, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it performed really well up to 1.5 billion. Even if it goes back to there, that's like 3-4X. But yeah, this one, like, I think I'll buy some maybe if I see it get down to 200 area again. But I mean, you can't go wrong getting in here too, because like this thing will go to like freaking at least 5 bill. Like this thing will at least 10x from here one day, you know, in the future. So this is a very good one. This is on Ethereum though, so that's, I don't mess with Ethereum as much anymore. And then BOBO is another one. Or actually, this is base BOBO on, what's BOBO on ETH? There's BOBO on ETH. This thing went up to 200 mil. It's at 16. And yeah, I think this thing's going to go again too. 6 hours ago it posted 200 likes, right? So it's active, it's doing. And look at this animation. That's pretty legit. So yeah, BOBO I'd say is a good safe bet. I mean, these are all considered high risk, but honestly, they're safe in my opinion. They've performed better than like everything. Like meme coins have performed better than all other sectors. So what used to be considered high risk and degenerate is now outperforming like all those other ones. So that's why I'm all about now finding the most high quality memes, because they're proven to outperform everything else. RETARDIO is another good one. Yeah, coming down from 200 mil right now. So that'd be like a 15x to get back there from here. And this is forming a falling wedge, which will break out to the upside. Like even from here, you could get like almost a 3x just on this next breakout. RETARDIO, and let's see their Twitter. Oh, account suspended. That's not good. Let's see, RETARDIO. I mean, the engagement's incredible. Yeah, I've heard this is one of the strongest like cult followings too, which is what you want to look for. So yeah, RETARDIO. And speaking of that, there's RETARDIO, which actually went up to 6-7 mil, which is nothing compared to a lot of these. But my point is, it's at 30,000 market cap right now. And once the whole market's going, RETARDIO is going, this thing could possibly go to. So even if you just put a little bit in here. I got this profit calculator. Let's see, RETARDIO. So let's say market cap's at 30. 1, 2, 3, 30,000. You have even $100 in there. Okay, what's the price? This many tokens. You get that many tokens. Okay, so here's my profit chart I made just for an example to show you the upside potential if you got into something with a $30,000 market cap, even only with $100, and then every time the position multiplies by 2, you take 20% profit. Okay, if you did that up until it was at $245 million market cap, you would have made $74,000, okay, off $100. Okay, like how crazy is that? And this thing, even if it goes right back to its all-time high, you'll make $5,000 off $100, right? So if the market returns and you don't have much money and you want to be a little degenerate and risky, you could sprinkle a little bit of money in a lot of these really low cap ones. Like I have a whole list of ones that are like under $50,000 market cap, which I can talk about in another video. But yeah, pretty crazy, right? So every time it multiplies by 2, you take 20%. And yeah, that's what it would look like. Like when you take profit the 13th time, you'll have $11,000. And then you'll have $45,000 left in your position size, right? Like it's crazy how much money you can make off these little guys. So yeah, that's all I got right now. What do we got here? Oh yeah, here's meme coin charts, just proving that meme coins have outperformed everything in the last year. Okay, well, I'm sick of this video. I will catch you in the next one.